Good morning, Sentinel. I'm Brendan Hill.
And I'm Carissa Alcala, and this is Spartan TV.
Attention all sophomores. Please see your counselor, Katie Kurgan, if you are interested in attending the Hobie Conference this year. The Hobie Conference empowers students with leadership training.
Keep on sending in those Fireside Ask pictures. We're loving them. Remember, Fireside is on November 4th. Tickets are on sale now. You can purchase them in the gym lobby at lunch for $10 per person or $8 with a donation of a gently used winter coat. Student Gov will be donating the coats to local groups in need.
Seniors, photos for the yearbook are due by October 31st. That's next Tuesday. You can submit them to Mrs. Kind's school email at jkinds@mcpsmt.org or on a flash drive delivered to her in the 500 building. Currently, we only have 60 photos, so let's get going, seniors. Please don't shove hard copy photos under her door either. If you are looking for a club to join, Amnesty International meets Fridays at lunch in room 110 to advocate for human rights worldwide.
Happy birthday to Mary Minster and Charlize Sherrard.
Since Halloween is just around the corner, Spartan reporters Elsa Godwin and Aston Kinsella visited the Missoula Pumpkin Patch to see what all the buzz was about.
The annual Pumpkin Patch, hosted by Missoula Alliance Church at 100 Foss Court East, is open again for the fall season.
The Pumpkin Patch started with the World Outreach team here, and they were a team that was comprised of 10 or 15 people who had a heart for missions. And so they wanted to figure out a way to raise funds for missions, and pumpkins can sell in October, and decided to try it, and it just kind of grew from there. Our pumpkins mostly come from a farmer in Paradise, and then we have several kind of large pumpkins and different varieties of pumpkins that are grown by a few members of our church a year. So it's kind of a community effort.
The Pumpkin Patch started in 2006 and now is celebrating its 11th year.
The main way that I love is that we get to interact with members in the community up here in the Pumpkin Patch and get to know people that maybe we wouldn't know otherwise. Also impacts community in the sense that it raises funds for families in the community and kids, high schoolers who are going on mission trips. And it also is just a sweet way to spend an afternoon in October and enjoy kind of the fall festive atmosphere.
This year, half of the funds raised from the Pumpkin Patch are going to the high schoolers for their New York missions trip this summer. The rest of the proceeds are going towards helping the refugee families in Missoula.
If you don't carve them, they can last for months. But if you carve them, usually their shelf life is about 2 weeks. Then they start to rot. We offer pumpkins, and we also offer gourds and spaghetti squash and butternut squash, corn stalks. We have baked goods, scones and pumpkin pies. So it's usually the variety of things offered are all having to do with kind of the fall type theme. This year, I think we've had our biggest pumpkins donated, and I think the heaviest one is about 65 pounds. So they're pretty big.
The Pumpkin Patch is open 7 days a week, Monday through Friday from 2:30 to 7, Saturday 10 to 7, and Sunday from 12 to 7. Swing by and find your perfect pumpkin. Signing off for Spartan TV, I'm Elsa Godwin.
While the Pumpkin Patch is family-friendly, the Missoula Haunted House isn't exactly something you would bring your grandma to. Elias DeWaters, Cameron Hagel, and Tristan Traver decided to check it out themselves.
This year's Missoula Fairgrounds is hosting the 5th annual Haunted House.
We started the Haunted House a few years ago because we noticed that Missoula didn't have one. And, Halloween's awesome, haunted houses are sweet, so that was pretty much it.
This year's theme of the Haunted House is The Reaping.
It's just a lot of dark, winding hallways, but then you just add to it based on your storyline. And, we try to concoct a bunch of scares that are more than just people like jumping out of a corner at you. So it's about a bunch of backwood yokels that own a motel. They dig a pothole in the highway, and then you wreck your car on the pothole, so they let you stay at the motel, and then they sacrifice you to these demons that live in the catacombs in the fields behind their church.
The cost is $10 per person and $15 for the express line. It's open 7 to 11 on weekends leading up to Halloween and 4 to 6 for kids' hours. Come by if you want to experience 7,000 square feet of absolute terror.
In the spirit of Halloween, Brendan and I caught up with Jordan Graves and Brendan Thompson to see what their Halloween traditions are. Take a look.
On Halloween, I typically get together with some of my best buddies and mainly Brandon Morley. We trick or treat the night away in the pursuit of candy and oftentimes get sugar rushes and pass out.
I got 2 Halloween traditions. The first one is I always make a bet every year with my friend Chelsea. A bet that doesn't have anything to do with Halloween but ends up resulting in the winner being able to pick the other person's costume. This year I lost and am subsequently Prison Mike from The Office this year. So,
For Halloween this year, I think I'm gonna borrow a Montana Tech football jersey and be my best buddy Brandon Morley.
scary stories. One time I almost saw my grandma naked, so that was weird.
When I see take 3 pieces sign, of course I obey the sign and only take 3 pieces. The fact that anyone would even consider taking more than 3 pieces is just, that's what's wrong with the world these days. I don't get it. So
One year I got like a king-size candy bar, and I don't know why that was a big deal to me, but if I still remember it at 28, but I can't remember like half the significant things that happened in my life, it had to have been a big deal.
favorite part about Halloween, you know, it's just hanging out with my best bud, Brandon Morley. And, you know, getting a sugar rush with the boys. And yeah, it's my favorite part about Halloween.
Along with Halloween traditions, Serena and Marielle went to check out the annual Missoula corn maze that everyone has been raving about.
Are you looking for something fun to do before Halloween? Well, we caught up with Mark Kreider, the owner of the Missoula Corn Maze located at 1010 Clements Road, to ask him a few questions.
Our friends started it, and they just, when they were ready to sell the business, they offered it to us first, and I just thought it was a fun event to put on for the community and decided to try it.
9,000 to 11,000 people visit the maze each year.
Depending on how busy we're going to be, we have volunteers that come in just to help us when we need it, so anywhere between 2 to probably 8 people. Our funds, we donate some to the local school here. We also give back to the local community, like the food bank, and the rest is just to run the business for the next year. The straw comes from eastern Montana. We have it trucked in. The corn I grow locally, and the pumpkins we also grow locally here.
Go to www.missoulamaze.com to find the hours and more information.
Let's head over now to sports with Elias DeWaters and Austin Carlson.
Good morning, Sentinel. I'm Austin Carlson.
And I'm Elias DeWaters, and this is your Spartan Sports.
Last Friday, the Spartan football team played the Helena High Bengals, taking a tough loss. But this week, they have the Capital Bruins for their final home game in senior night. Can't wait to see you all out there in your pink.
In soccer news, the girls fell to Big Sky in a tough crosstown playoff game. Great season, ladies. The boys beat Flathead and are getting ready for their first state game against Billings Senior today at noon. The Spartans are going in as the number 4 seed from the West, playing the number 1 seed from the East.
Golf ended with Sentinel boys taking 4th and Jack Johnston finishing in the top 15. Lauren Peterson and Emily Garden finished in the top 15 as well for the girls. Good job, Spartans.
The results are in for golf. The girls got 4th and the boys got 5th at state. Our juniors did well with Jack Johnston placing 6th and Emily Garden in 5th. To wrap up on the season, we caught up with a couple of players after state and asked how well they did.
Really do great last year, but I think this year cracking the top 5 kind of exceeded my expectations. I was really hoping for All-State, which is top 15, so I think I did a lot better than I really planned to.
Did pretty good for myself. I played really good the first day and then played all right the second day. I was pretty happy how I finished.
In addition to asking the players how well they did at state, we asked what the best part of state was.
I think the best part about state was being with my teammates. Team dinners are always super fun. We had a lot of fun in the hotel room and the pool.
Probably just seeing what everybody shot and just seeing how everybody did after the round was over.
In order to make this interview a little less nerve-wracking, we lightened the mood with 2 ridiculous questions.
I did hit the ball. I never whiffed it.
Oh yeah, I've lost a club. I did that at the Kalispell tournament this year. I lost a wedge and I didn't even realize it until Andrea, who had picked it up, and I didn't know she picked it up. She was like, yeah, I have this wedge. And I was like, oh, I'm missing a wedge. And she just pulls it out of her bag. And I'm like, oh, thank you.
We asked senior Lauren Peterson what she was going to miss most about golf.
The thing I'm going to miss most is probably getting to miss a bunch of school and Matto.
Reporting for Spartan TV, I'm Jada Knight.
Volleyball dominated another tournament last weekend, winning the MCPS invite. Also, they took down Glacier Tuesday in 4 sets. Great performance, gals.
Cross country ended their season last weekend with both the boys and girls team taking 5th place at the state meet. Great job, Spartans.
That's all we have for sports this week. Let's head back to the news with Brendan and Carissa. But first, take a look at our Spartan profiles of the week.
To me, being a student at Sentinel just means to be kind to everyone and just pick up after yourselves and be respectful.
Being a student at Sentinel High School, to me, means that you are respectful, responsible, and always ready to learn.
Being vice president hasn't really changed my experience all that much, just I've gotten a lot more responsibility and I've just looked at everything in a different way.
It hasn't changed my experience at Sentinel because it has been and always will be the best.
Jagelski and Maddow have changed my experience at Sentinel just because they're always there and they support me.
Her contributions to the school, well, I like that she's our vice president. She seems to take it pretty serious, and she seems to work pretty hard. And yeah, I mean, she's a great role model for all kids. She's in multiple activities. So yeah, she's great for the school.
Probably Mr. Hartman. He keeps it real.
Stuart's a good guy. He's well-rounded, has a good sense of humor, but knows when to be serious as well. And I think that people in school respond to that. Same thing applies to his involvement in my classes. He's very contemplative when he makes contributions. They're insightful, but he also interjects that classic Stuart humor.
My favorite memory from Sentinel was probably winning state volleyball just because I got a lot of new friendships and it's a great memory to have.
My favorite memory so far has been last year when I gave my speech running for president. All those rhymes and whatnot, people were going crazy.
That's all we have for you today. Stay tuned after the credits for Monster Quest. I'm Carissa Alcala.
And I'm Brennan Hill. See you in 2 weeks, Sentinel.
Hi, I'm Aston Kinsella with Spartan TV. Over here in Spartan TV out in the 500 building, we have our mascot Timmy sitting in our corner. Most of the time for the past 3 months he's been sitting here. Nobody's noticed him and people have just gone about their days. But since it's Halloween, I decided to scare some of our members by dressing up in his costume and seeing what we get.
What's in it?
There's a bunch of water bottles I want in the fridge, please.
Like straight on or something? Come on! Are you joking?
Our second location is our sound booth where we record a lot of our voiceovers. So I decided to hide inside and scare people as they came in.
If there's anybody here, could you show us a sign? What?
Some slit over. I heard it.
Oh, I didn't. Okay.
Stop.
Quiet.
Wait.
Can you repeat that?
What did it say?
Sure.
Sure?
It's the middle of the day, she said.
Okay.
We haven't been down here in a while. Have you been waiting for us to come back?
What the?
Sentinel? I'm Drew Leonard.
I'm Trey Cole.
We're up here in Mansion Heights right now with reports of monsters.
Monsters, man.
And goblins.
Goblins.
And just other crazy things that have been going on in the neighborhood. Me and my best bro Trey are going to go check out with the neighbors what they think.
Yo, what up?
Hey. Hey.
How you doing?
Hey, as a resident of Leary Court, have you seen any monsters?
I ain't seen nothing, dog.
You ain't seen nothing?
We've had reports of crazy things, but we want to check in with you, see if you've seen anything.
I think it's whack.
You think it's whack?
I think it's whack.
We've had reports from down the street telling us that it isn't whack.
Yeah. This monster thing's a whole bunch of shenanigans.
Shenanigans?
Shenanigans.
What kind of shenanigans are we talking
It's a
about?
bunch of bull hunky.
Oh.
Okay, well, we're going to go investigate and see if you're wrong.
Okay.
We think you're wrong.
Report back to me.
Go Spartans. We're here in the Mansion Heights Gully. We've had reports that this is where they like to hang out, maybe down here in the weeds.
They're up there, they're up there.
Okay. So right now we're going to switch this baby to infrared.
Switch it!
I see one! Get him! Get him!
Hey, where'd they go? Where are they? Where they at? I saw one, I know I saw one. Where are they? Where they at? Where are they?
Swore I saw him.
I saw it. Okay. Where are they? We just saw them. I can smell them. Smell them. Where are they? What's that? What's that? Come behind them?
Sure, I got a good feeling about this one, baby.
Get them.
Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? When you were 8 and you had bad traits, you go to school and learn the golden rule. So why are you acting like a bloody fool? If you get hot, then you must get cool. Bad boys, what you gonna do? Or what you gonna do when they come for you?
So I graduated for the first time in 2011. Then I had to go back and do another 4 years and graduated in 2015. Went to cadet school. This is my second year on the actual force. This is Drew's first year. He's still in his cadet training. We just go around the schools in Missoula, Montana and check out for some PDA. So now we gonna get it. Drew, there's some PDA. We gotta pick them up. We gotta pick them up, Drew. Drew, we gotta pick them up. Be real quiet about it. We got a suspect. Take her downtown, Drew. Busted.
Drew, looks like there's some PDA there. That's enough of that.
All right, that's enough of that nonsense. Not in my school. Busted.